criminal. It's criminal. And a lot of church leaders need to look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves pertinent questions.
All right. Peace is gradually returning to River State as the gladiators seem ready to implement the terms of the resolution reached to end the feud between Governor Siminialayi Fubara and his predecessor, Wike, contrary to rumors. The State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joseph Johnson, said Governor Fubara will implement the agreement brokered by President Bwala at the presidential villa in Abuja on Monday. Johnson noted that the governor signed the document containing the 8-point resolution between the warring factions in the state. Meanwhile, the governor has approved 100,000 naira each as Christmas bonus for civil servants in the state. Good one for Governor Siminialayi Fubara today.
Yes. The level of rumor and ignorance peddling by our people is so worrisome. I saw elderly people with white beard going around saying this governor signed under duress. So how lowly can you get?
A chief executive.
I said white bearded people, old men,
elders,
lying,
supposed elders,
lying through their teeth.
And the governor has not come out to say that I signed under duress.
But as his commissioner for information saying, look, this thing is not true. How do you, an adult, somebody in that class as a Nigerian, are you going to put a gun to his neck that he should sign?
No.
Did he tell you, how do you try to show that you love Siminialayi Fubara more than he loves himself?
More Catholic than the Pope.
That's what is the thing. If you Google it now, you will see some individuals who have come out because they didn't like, they just do not like the
terms and
yes.
They want to.
If the governor did not think that it made sense for them to have peace, because he said something. He said there is no price too big for peace. It means that he may not be happy with some of the terms. I saw it on his face.
Yes.
But to him,
desires,
let peace reign. And in this, even during this period, he too cannot claim that everything that he has done is perfect. Why will he demolish such a big complex? Because only a small part of it was affected by fire. He knows in his heart that he did something wrong. So even when you are supporting someone and that person has chosen to go the way of a lover of peace, why don't you just leave him alone? Why are they still trying to get this governor to go against what they agreed upon? And the commissioner came out to say this. In fact, they quoted the governor saying that he signed under duress. Now the commissioner said, no, the governor never signed under duress. And he's going to implement the agreement. All we want is for peace to reign. We don't care about the politics that these people are playing. Because as I've said before, if Fubara and Wike begin to use thugs, militants, cultists against one another, it is the ordinary folks that will pay with their lives. Both of them, nothing will happen to them. Politicians cause trouble. As you are killing one another, they sit in their houses, they cross their legs, they will be drinking 100-year-old whiskey and the rest. You and your children who are putting your lives at risk. I think the people, the hawks, trying to cause more problems in rivers,
back off.
They should just back off at this time
and stop giving it
leave the governor alone. Leave the governor. The entire state voted for him. He's the governor of everyone.
Yes.
He's not the governor of Ijaw people.
Stop
the blatant divisive tendencies and leave the young man alone to do his job. And he's doing well so far. If not for this distraction, he's doing well. So leave Fubara alone.
Julie, what do you make of this?
You see, I like a Lagbaja song that said leaders are bad, but followers are. He used one English like that. See, sometimes those who follow you are those who even cause more problems for you. And I think in this crisis, there are some people who think they stand to gain, and they are already seeing some gains in it, and they don't want it to stop. But what will it profit anyone if the former governor and the present governor is fighting in the state? Like BKO said, the common man will suffer it in Rivers. Nothing will happen to Wike's children. Neither will Fubara's children suffer. It is the poor people on the street that will suffer this. And so the man has come out to say nothing is too big for the price of peace. So let peace reign. And he has moved on. People even went as far as saying when they got to the villa, they were first made to sign, and that it was after this thing, they now copied the signature and pasted on the resolution. How bad can it get? Yes. And people are there. The commissioner had come out and said, now, Oga signed.
How could they even have done that? There are so many people who attended the meeting. Local government chairmen and other people. They are physically present.
Even PDP chairman.
You know? So, and it was Odili,
Former governor.
Yes, Dr. Odili, that they gave the thing to read to everybody's hearing. He was the one given the resolution. It wasn't as if Asiwaju read it to them like a sergeant major or a headmaster. He gave it to Odili to read to them so that people can hear clearly the content of the resolution. So I just don't understand. Let them leave the man alone. Look at what he's done now. 100K, 100,000 for workers is unprecedented.
It is
unprecedented. This is an accountant who
They
knows
are going
onions.
to have a Merry Christmas in River State.
Yes.
That's where the Merry Christmas. Yes.
Merry
That's
Christmas.
the real definition of Merry.
Additional 100K.
And they have been praying for him since he said it.
No,
And that
you know, the people in this matter, the people stood by him. But it's not every battle that you can win. There are times when you have to pull back. So this is his reward for the support that the people gave him. Because our people always like to support the underdog. In this conflict, they see him as the underdog against Wike. So the people supported him. You know, and as an accountant, someone who knows the job, he knows that, look, even if he gives out the 100,000, the state will still survive. Some states are earning now 3 times what they used to.
Yes.
So this is the thing. That is why it's criminal to not distribute palliatives to people.
Yes.
Especially the governors of the Southwest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Southwest, even Southeast.
If a state that wasn't earning close to 2 billion, 2.5 billion, is now earning 8 billion.
So why won't you remember the people? So you now increase your security vote and you forget the people. I mean, it's criminal. You know it in your heart that it's criminal.
It is.
Abba.
All right, joining us for more discussion on the political situation in River State is a lawyer and a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Daniel Bwala. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Daniel, it's like you've gone to open a church in the UK. That is what they've told me.
He's always in the UK.
Because
I worship with winners.
you're going to open a church there. Because your people are complaining that they've not seen you in a long time in Nigeria.
I'm always in Nigeria, funny enough. I was in Nigeria about 3 weeks ago. I go to Nigeria almost twice in a month, but I'm doing a research PhD. Permit me to disagree with some of the points you made about Fubara agreeing to implement the agreement in the villa. You see, what is coming out of Rivers is mixed messaging. First of all, I have not seen the report from the Information Commissioner, but I can tell you authoritatively, key people in his cabinet personally told me he has not agreed to that. Now, the point is, did he sign? It's possible that he may have signed. But because he signed, does it mean it has the force of law, is binding on him? The answer is no. And two, the suggestion that he signed under duress, is it tenable? It can be yes and no, depending on intention. Because even in law, there is what we call non-est facto. Non-est facto means this signature is not my own. It could have been signed by you, but you say it's not my own. The onus will now be on you to
Daniel,
prove
let me just
that
pause
it is
you
not
there.
your own.
Daniel, let me just take a pause there. We'll take this breather. When we come back, you continue. Please stay with us.
In the month of December, the 1st is World AIDS Day, while the 2nd of December is International Day for the Abolition of Slavery. On the 3rd is International Day of Persons with Disabilities. On the 4th of December, attention shifts as the day is dedicated to World Wildlife Conservation. The 7th is International Civil Aviation Day, and on the 9th is International Anti-Corruption Day. On the 10th is Human Rights Day, and on the 21st is World Basketball Day. 25th is Christmas Day, when Christians celebrate the birth of...
Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Angat. We still have Daniel Bwala from the People's Democratic Party with us. All right, Daniel.
As I was saying, that did he sign? The answer is he may have signed, because the people around him came out and said, indeed, that that there was a directive. That's what they said, which was read out to them, after which he was asked to sign. Now, can he, after signing, say he's not going to abide by it? The answer is yes. And even in law, there is what is called non-est facto. Non-est facto means this signature is not my own. Then the onus will be on you to prove it is not your own. You can then go ahead and say you sign under duress. Even some suspect in custody of law enforcement, when they carry them under investigation, ask them to write, they keep writing. But when they finish in the signature, they will indicate that they sign under duress. So all these things are possibilities. But the point is the agreement binding? The answer is the agreement does not have the force of law. And the reason some of the people around him are canvassing is that the agreement was brought to them as a directive, because ordinarily a binding agreement should be a product of negotiation, meaning that they will come and say these are their terms. Weakest people will say these are their terms. There will be a compromise. They will all agree, and then they will be asked to sign. When you come out with a drawn-out directive on how things should be done and ask them to sign, remember, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and he's the father of the country. Even out of respect for him, you can sign, so that it doesn't look as though you were summoned or you were invited, and then you look the president in the face and walk away. It's out of respect. But the fact that you sign out of respect for him does not mean you are bound to implement it. But what is even the crux of the matter? Let us be honest as Nigerians. Who is Wike in the context of the interest of a state, that he becomes a factor, that the whole state will sit on one side and Wike will sit on the other side, and they are negotiating? What is even the basis for the negotiation? Wike will have you believe that he is complaining about his structure. Is there any election that is imminent? Are there election and electioneering activities going on? Has Fubara done anything that suggests that he's touching on Wike's structure? Because up until when his commissioners left, they were intact. Members of his House of Assembly were intact. There was nothing Fubara did that suggests he was touching Wike's structure. What we have had is that it's all about the Benjamins. It's about money. And in the same country,
we're not sure of that.
We are not sure.
We cannot substantiate that, Daniel.
I'm coming. Before you crucify me, allow me to land. Allow me to land.
Okay.
I say what we have heard. There's a difference between what we have heard and what is confirmed. I didn't say confirmed. I say what we have heard.
Okay.
I mean, as journalists, you people used to say the sources said. The sources said. Does it mean you have come?
Did you hear me say that? Did you hear me say that? I've never. For me now, I've not heard that it's about money. I've not heard that.
Okay, I have heard from people around Fubara that
Yes.
it's all about money.
Oh, they may be saying that to blackmail the man. Let me also tell you that.
Good.
Look, you see, hold on now. You see, now in that resolution, they said that it should not dissolve the local councils
Yeah.
because
They got an intel.
because they have reasonable grounds to believe that he wants
It was about doing that.
he wants to put caretaker local government chairmen in their place. And that is what is particularly frightening to Wike. And he kept saying the people who helped you to office, the people who helped you to win, the ladder that you climb, everyone knows that local government chairmen play a critical role in ensuring electoral victory. Even Ashwari Tinubu here never played with them, never joked with them. You know, in 2019, he gave directive that they should make sure that those local government chairmen were rewarded with second term. Maybe I'm not supposed to say some of these things, but their fear was that he was going to dissolve them, and that's why they now put it. That was why they put it amongst the resolutions that he would not dissolve them.
Dissolve the local government.
Organize
but
proper
here is the
election.
point.
Yes.
But
so
here is the point.
This thing is not usually about money alone. Money could be one of the things that people thought, but other people are aware.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying the local government, they have reasonable ground to believe. It means it has not been executed yet. That's one. So the test of reasonability should be based on cogent and compelling facts. Was there anybody among the local government chairmen that expressed he was served a query or he was told he was going to be served? Nobody has come out to say Governor Fubara is planning to sack A, B, or C. That's test of reasonability. You cannot say it in the air. It's just the same way as journalists, you will say that when you say you have information, confirm it. And two,
just the same way we
there
can't
are
talk about
more money.
cow farts.
Yes.
I'm saying, secondly, there are commissioners. These commissioners that resign and the House of Assembly members are all part of Wike's structure. There is nowhere Wike's structure is not there. Even when the fight began, this governor did not still sack the commissioners on their own. They left. He didn't even rush to create another one. So when you have a theory, you must be willing to listen to counter theory. I'm speaking to Wike's group now. And that is not the only thing they put in the agreement. Secondly, the president of the Federal Republic, that's somebody I respect, everybody knows. And in fact, I'm one of the fewest people that work for him. Till tomorrow, I respect him. But the president ought to have first confirmed whether or not there was something like that in the cook. How can you bring a resolution where you are saying that members of the House of Assembly that defected to another political party, this governor, pursuant to the provision of the Constitution, notify INEC? Some people, there is a vacant position, we want to conduct election. There was even an order of court that said the remainder of the House of Assembly members constitute the forum, based upon which the governor presented the budget. Budget was approved. He has signed it into law. All of these things are legal and constitutional steps. The president sitting over that as if the president was sitting on appeal on the decision of court, on the constitutionality of the official act of an officer in a state elected, just like the way he was elected. So you could see their complaint that right from the beginning, the president has taken sides with Wike because it was not a product of discussion. It was a resolution brought out to them, read out to them, and they were asked to sign. It does not have the force of law. If you don't obey it, it doesn't mean you disrespect the president. And I know this president, he is somebody that would always open his ears to the other side of the story. Now, most presidents are surrounded by people around them. This act that President Tinubu took, I am telling you with every conviction, is a product of what some people around him got him into. President Tinubu will have a second look at that, because that is not in the characteristic of President Tinubu. He respects structure, but he wants it to be done in a way and manner that suggests that you are delivering on the good governance to the people. In Lagos, President Tinubu didn't do like that. In fact, he even allowed Ambode to complete his term and then blocked him against the second term. And here you have a governor, a former governor, 6 months. Nobody will sleep in Nigeria because he said they have touched his structure. And then we are here as a nation. We are tolerating a dictator, a former governor, have the force of law. Now, all the people on ground, and I challenge anybody to send people to Rivers, send them to Obioko, local government of Wike, and send them to the people of Ikwere. They are not happy with the steps that Wike is taking. It cannot develop by this Gestapo approach to it's a democratic coup in Rivers State. Look, the governor of Rivers can choose to join APC voluntarily. It doesn't have to be coerced. There are APC governors that went to Villa and were hailing Tinubu. Heavens did not fall. But you cannot do a coup in a state and say that all of these things is giving us flavor. It's my structure they are touching. Whose structure they are touching? Is there any election coming? Has he even sacked the people?
So now, are you saying that Wike has planned a coup now?
I'm saying that
or is it the president who planned the coup by saying, look, gentlemen, I want peace in that state, and they had a meeting for 3 hours. If they met for 3 hours, then it does not suggest that the president simply brought out a list of resolutions and told them to go and sign. 3 hours means that 3 hours means that they had a very, very robust discussion. You know, so
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this in all honesty. You can ask the the spokesman to President Tinubu. In fact, I even confirmed from somebody around the president that agreement was not drafted after a conversation there. It was brought to them. Then you saw people who participated in the meeting who said that it was brought to them, and this former governor Peter Odile was asked to read out. He read it out, and the president now said they should sign and that he would take stiff measure to anybody who does not abide by that. I am saying that what I'm saying can be confirmed from the presidency whether this agreement,
Daniel,
whether this agreement
was drafted
there,
nobody will allow the gun to a governor's neck. If the governor does not agree to it, he has every right to say, look, I do not agree, I will not sign. If he chooses not to sign, they will not march him into the Aso Rock cell as a result of that. He opened his eyes and he agreed.
I will tell you what. When I left APC and I joined, and I hadn't joined PDP yet, this president, and that's why I have my greatest respect for him, called me and asked me, first of all, he was looking for me here and there. And as a father, I didn't want to tell him that my mind was made up. So I was dodging small. Then he called me through a mutual friend who is one of his people. As soon as I picked, he said, you're running away from your daddy. And he gave it to the president. I felt so bad that the president had to be asking me, Bwala, come, that this thing, the reason for which you are leaving is not tenable and the rest. Now, after that conversation on the phone, I promised him, because I was in London, when I come back, I will meet him. But the culture where I come from, you can never come to the elder and tell the elder no. It will amount to disrespect. Rather, when you are dodging the elder, he will understand that it's out of respect. That is the reason why you are not coming. Why am I saying that? I want to buttress the point that in the presence of the president, if you are asked to sign, it will amount to disrespect for you to look at the president and now say, the president, look, I will not sign. So all I'm trying to say is that he signed is human. The circumstances, the situation surrounding
what will happen? Will the president beat him up? That's the thing.
The president would not. Okay.
So are you saying that we've not had governors, even during Obasanjo's time, who openly disagreed with the president?
Even the president himself disagreed.
Even during Jonathan's time, didn't Baba Memongoro openly disagreed with him? What happened to them? They were in a democracy. If you do not like the content of the resolution, you refuse to sign.
President Obasanjo went to Wike
himself to sign.
President Obasanjo went to Wike with a resignation letter in his pocket. He told Wike he wants to eat. They cooked. They ate together. When they finished, he brought it out and said, sign it. Did Wike object to it? He signed it.
Oh, Obasanjo,
let me tell you, Mr.
Tinubu are different people. Obasanjo
but what I'm saying,
used 7 individuals to impeach a governor. Obasanjo
Tinubu is using one
legality.
individual to remove a governor.
No.
President Tinubu
This
is
is
using
different.
Wike to remove a governor.
No, he has not used
That's the
Wike.
point.
He has not used Wike to remove a governor. I still removed him now.
Even if we are saying
No, he's laying the foundation. The foundation is being laid. The foundation is being
No,
laid.
he's trying to
Let me
make
tell you, and you
peace.
can take it.
He's trying to
Let
make
me tell you
peace.
this, and you will be surprised that what I will tell you will play out. These House of Assembly members that were asked to go back and be received, let me predict, they will go, now that they've gone back.
Yes.
Let's assume that the governor is prevailed upon. He will accept them, they will sit. He is asked to represent the budget, which is unconstitutional anyway, because you cannot undo what you've already done based on the constitution. But assuming he does that, they will raise an issue that they are disagreeing to A, B, and C. Then there will be a situation. They will sit down and impeach this government, the governor, and the feds will take his security and remove him. This thing I'm telling you, mark it. There is a determination to take over that state for APC.
So-
all I'm
so-
saying
so-
is that,
to impeach Fubara.
so. If
let me tell you, all I'm saying, if I land this one, you appreciate that. All I'm saying is that President Tinubu historically has demonstrated his skills in politics, that he does not have to coerce you to get what he wants.
No, I was-
Which is better? Don't be a
So
doomsday.
we is the one that wants to check the character
Daniel,
of
don't
President
be-
Tinubu.
don't be-
I was even
Doomsday
going
prophet.
to ask. I was even
Doomsday prophet.
I was going
I
to
said they are
ask
going to impeach when in
If-
fact they are not going to impeach anymore.
if you say they brought the resolution and they read it to them and asked them to sign. So what were they discussing for 3 hours?
That's the point.
Okay, let me give you a scenario what they could have been discussing. They come together, President Tinubu will say, I'm not happy with what is happening in Rivers. This one will give his story, this one will give his story, this one will give his story, this one will counter the story, and these things can take time.
That's the
Then when
definition
they
of a
finish, you will
good
say,
meeting.
well,
Yes.
That's the definition of a good meeting, where you are allowed to talk, your brother is allowed to talk, everybody is talking.
And from there they
But
withdraw a
if you finish
resolution.
talking, when you finish talking and you are presented with what you did not initiate, it now invalidates the sanctity of the meeting. That's the point. Now, let me tell you this, and I pray that President Tinubu is watching today. President Tinubu should be wary of Wike. Wike will drag President Tinubu's image to the ground. President Tinubu has been known as somebody that will win through negotiation. This is the first time in the history of President Tinubu's political career that he had to take a step that is very, very unknown to law. He has always been, look at, when I was advisor to Oshomole, we were to conduct primaries in Lagos. The President Tinubu had made up his mind that Abode would not come back. The committee that went to do something, they were in a hotel. Tinubu met them in the morning. Say, I come to greet you people and to appreciate you for the conduct of the primaries. They said, no, we have not done it. Oh. We are going out to do this. They said, oh, don't worry, we have done it for you. If you go to the Abuja, tell them however they want to do it in Nigeria. But here, we do it the way we do it, and it is for peace. Look at it. He could have stayed wherever he is and be shouting at the people sent to go and conduct the primaries. Because the chairman himself was brought by Tinubu. But he believed in negotiation. This is the first time, I'm telling you, Wike will drag President Tinubu. This is the first time President Tinubu is taking a step that is very, very uncommon with the characteristic of President Tinubu. On a normal day.
You know you don't know him more than some of us.
Yes.
You know you don't know him more than some of us.
Give me a scenario where President Tinubu in his political life applied this kind of Gestapo coup.
No, there are some things that will not be known to you, that could be known to me, that could be known to Ayo. You know, there is no way you will.
I'm talking about the coup, this Gestapo democratic
I'm telling you that in politics, if you look at a governor and you say that he has never done something unconstitutional, you are wrong.
Yeah.
You are wrong. And I'm saying this with a high sense of responsibility.
But what I'm saying is context. Look, every human being, we all can make mistakes. You have to contextualize what I'm saying. The context is this governor, after these people defected, sent a letter to INEC. Is that unconstitutional? This governor presented the budget to few members of the House of Assembly that the court said they formed the Corum. Is that unconstitutional?
Is it?
Is
Four members?
Does four form a quorum? Is it not clear?
If the court said,
Constitution?
if the court sauld, if
Out
the
of 31.
court by an order say monkeys are human beings, For all intents and purposes, monkeys are human beings. That is what is called the rule of law.
Nobody, we will not agree to monkeys transforming to human
No, no, no.
But if that is what the court said, if that is what the court says,
that Obesian scenario, we will not agree to it. That's the state of nature scenario.
That
we will
the
not
court
agree to
cannot
it.
say. I give you example.
Asiwaju badly
After the
wanted to solve a
election-
problem.
After the presidential election, so many people had terrible, impression against Tinubu. When the court said, for all intents and purposes, Tinubu was duly elected. As a country under democracy, we all rally around to make sure that our president succeed. We can interrogate him on policy and the rest, but we protect him as the president. That is the rule of law. Means everybody is equal before the law. Nobody is above the law. There was a court order that says this constitutes a forum. Why is the president rewriting the court order? Why is the president
what happened in? Were you happy with what happened in Rivers State? I mean, in Edo State, where Obaseki ran the assembly with about, I think, 9 individuals.
Yes.
Should we be happy to see such a thing happen in Rivers? Okay. Even if you declare
I will answer.
You know what I will have expected, Daniel? You know what I will have expected? Let them declare the seats vacant. Let an election be conducted. And when an election is conducted, the House will have a proper quorum. Not a situation in which 4 individuals. Tell me one country. Is there a parallel to that?
Good. I like the point.
Tell me a country where that sort of thing had happened. Why do we always do strange things in our country?
I like the point you made. And that is exactly what the governor was trying to do. First, he declared the seat vacant and notified INEC. Yes. Secondly, he was waiting for INEC to give a date for the conduct of election. Now,
but he couldn't wait. He was impatient. He ran to go and present a budget to them. So, you see, you cannot defend him on everything.
No. But let me tell you something.
Why didn't he wait for a proper election to be conducted? When the election is conducted, what the Constitution defines as a quorum, we will then see that quorum in place, and then he can present his budget. Why should he present a budget to 4 persons? Which country in the world permits such to happen? I mean, it's political heresy. Tell me a country where you...
Daniel, are you still there?
I think
makes an order.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you saying he should disobey the court order and wait until INEC conduct the election?
I think it made sense if the court itself derives its power from the Constitution. If the Constitution defines what quorum means, a quorum, then 4 persons cannot constitute a quorum. No. Secondly, yes, 4 persons cannot constitute a quorum. No. In a house of 30-something.
Yeah, your point is right, but this is the answer. Your point is right. When it comes to corporate law practice, quorum can be defined. This is the point. What the court said was that these people haven't defected from the constitutional point of view that they cease to function as members of the House of Assembly on the platform of People's Democratic Party. Therefore, their seat was vacant. So now the court is left to determine from the remainder what constitutes a quorum. Now, even if 1 million people are supposed to be in this room, and you say quorum is 250, for example, I'm giving an example. If by the circumstantial event, you take out 995 people and you leave 5, for the purposes of corporate law practice, I challenge you to ask any lawyer. The quorum now will not be determined by the 1 million that are not there. It will be determined by the 5 people that are there. And this is the point, Baba today. If the court...
We were going to ask you about your party. This matter was a PDP matter. Why was PDP missing in action?
Okay, yes.
Why was PDP missing? PDP should have led the rapprochement. They should have led the whole attempt at finding peace between 2 of their members. How come they stayed away? Nobody saw them. They didn't provide leadership, and the president comes in, tries to solve the problem his own way. You are now saying what he has done is not backed by the force of law.
I agree with your point that PDP ought to have played leadership and PDP is not playing the leadership. I'll be the last person that will argue with you. In fact, I was the first person to start fighting that PDP is losing control. And the only reason is because the person involved is wicked. You know, and that's why I fought that time. You cannot be applying the law disproportionately. You sat and suspended Fayose, suspended the source, suspended other people. You did not suspend Wike.
Why are they afraid? Why are they afraid? Why are they afraid to suspend Wike? Does Wike have two heads?
I am telling you, this position you have, I have 10 of the same. Why are they afraid? But you see, if I have to bring context, if I have to context, you see, Wike is serving minister under President Tinubu. There are certain privileges Wike is enjoying to do what he's doing. If Wike today were to be an ordinary member of the party and not a minister in President Tinubu's government, even his conduct will be consistent with law and order.
No, but before he became minister, you people couldn't do anything to him. I interviewed
before he became minister,
I asked the question. I told him, I said, you are not bigger than your party. That what if your party decides to punish you today? And he said, let them suspend me. He dared you people on live TV. I asked the question.
I agree.
At the end of the day, the party didn't do anything. And then an individual comes in, tries to solve a problem, and you think that, okay, he was biased in trying to solve the problem. You are now blaming him. Were they not the people?
No. Look at my opinion about that. When I heard that the president called them, you see, the president will always provide the leadership as a president. There's nothing wrong in summoning them. There's nothing wrong in pursuing an amicable settlement. The only thing I faulted was that agreement ought to have been a product of negotiation where this group will say, okay, this is our own, we concede to this. This one say, this is our own, we concede. And then you say, okay, are we all on the same page on this? If they say yes, okay, this is binding, and you go. That's the only part I faulted. The fact that president called people to discuss, I will never fault it. In fact, that was what we criticized Buhari at the time, for not providing that kind of leadership. Now, without prejudice to the fact that the president could have said that this is a political party different from my own, I will not do it. But just like the way he said it, if opportunity comes, I will take advantage of opportunity, which is what he was doing. He's not wrong.
Okay, so you could have done what President Tinubu did. That's a fine place to leave it. You could have done exactly what he did. Take advantage.
No, I will not do that.
That's what you just said.
We have to leave it there, Daniel. We have to leave it there. I want to thank you, Daniel Bwala. Gentlemen.
Daniel,
we could go on and on, but thank you.
You are learning from the master.
Thank you for your contribution.
Enjoy your stay in UK.
BKO, we have to thank our YouTube viewers. Keep growing by the day. Thank you.
They said they stopped watching us. I'm just looking at them.
How? I won't understand that.
Keeping it live with us. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us this Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Jide, are we going on vacation? What's happening? As a producer, tell our people.